Hi, Dyslexic Genius. I'm back on the Fern O'Grand phonograph, and I'm going to point out some things about reassembly. First, we're going to talk about is be careful with the fiber washers, and they're starting to show up everywhere on this phonograph. This gear here holds the spring barrel, and that here is where put the spring barrel in. There's a set screw, it goes into that hole. But this bearing here that I'm holding in my hand with this running bearing right there fits in the bottom of the cover of the motor, and this comes in here, this screws into here like that, and then the end of this hole, when you assemble it, all fits together, except there's fiber spacer in here. So we have to be careful here. So on reassembly, when you shove the spring barrel shaft into the motor, which goes in here like this, then this fiber washer will fit over here like that to cushion the spring barrel. The question is, how do we lubricate where the shaft goes through this casting, because we have to tear the whole motor apart just to get there to oil. So what I'm going to do on this motor, so I'm going to use my silicone green grease, which should stay there for like ever, and that I will grease this and put some grease in here because there's a recessed area here. This will all kind of float together. This recessed area runs in here like that.
The grease won't hurt the fiber gear?
No, not on this. That'll just fit in here like that. Because when I pulled this off, I thought it was a bronze gear, but I've started wiping everything down gently now. You know, I don't know what I'm running into here because I've never seen one of these motors before. Then this goes here. On the winding crank mechanism, this goes into here like this, goes backside. This goes in here. Then the winding crank mechanism fits onto here. But there was a pin that held this in place, and I took this out to clean all this up. One point, if this floats for the braking system in this ring here. This is bronze, and this set ring, I took all this apart and rebuilt it because it all fits in here like that. It's a winding crank mechanism here. So that bearing right here, the end of this bearing fits in right here. I will also grease this, and when I flex tone it, I saw a lot of galling, you know, the tearing of the metal from no oil or grease. So I will grease this heavily and put all this back together. And this is the start of the rebuild of the Fern O'Grand motor, and I want to point these very unique features out about the motor, and that's my tip for the day.